Was the Gordon play an actual penalty? Clearly, the media's got something against Newcastle United. Let's take a look. Hello, everyone. Welcome to NUFC Talk TV. My name is Chris, the American Mag, here on NUFC Talk TV to talk about what's happening, trending topics surrounding Newcastle United, of course. So don't forget to subscribe if you're a Magpie. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and of course, activate the notifications bell. That way you don't miss out on any more videos in the next. We got live shows every night, member shows, we got videos, we got everything, press conferences, everything for Newcastle United fans. So 24 coverage, as we say here, of the Magpies. But, you know, this has been going on now for a few days. We played Man City on Saturday, and it seems like the media won't let it go. They keep talking about it wasn't a penalty, on Anthony Gordon. And I just don't see what they see. I think this is pretty cut and dry, pretty clear as day. This was a penalty. But you've heard it. We're going to listen to Talksport. We're going to look at what Sky Sports reported. We're going to look at even what Alan Shearer, our beloved idol, said, that it was not a penalty. He's glad that it was given, but he didn't think it was a penalty. So obviously that doesn't help. But I also think if he believes that, he needs to say that. He can't lie. He needs to keep his convictions, I guess you can say. But there's clearly something out there in the media against Newcastle United. Clearly, they keep repeating it, they keep talking about it, and as long as they keep it alive, it will resonate with some folks. To me, it's even more. The outrage should be on the opposite end, on the other end of things. I think Newcastle United should be outraged that we weren't given the second penalty, Joe Linton, on that second play, right after that Gordon penalty came about. And also, there's another one that people have not been talking about. Let's take a look at that one. But before we do, actually, let's take a look at what TalkSport has been talking about. There was a debate between, not a debate really, but, they brought this issue up, and Henry Winter was on our side, on that side of things. So let's take a listen to the former manager.
Anderson and Minte in the summer, just to sort of meet that. But you know what? The way he juggled the books and sort of deals like the Adidas deal and more money sort of coming in meant that you could hold on to Isak, Guimaraes, Anthony Gordon in particular. And
they're going to get to it in a minute.
On the football with Anthony Gordon,
there we go.
I mean, I think that's a penalty. I don't think that, there is contact.
There's a lot of dispute. Tony Cascarino was saying to me before this programme, when we were previewing it, he's saying never a penalty. Alan Shearer said not a penalty.
Well, that's interesting from Shearer and from Tony.
Gary Lineker's on Match of the Day saying if you run towards the goalkeeper and the goalkeeper comes out, contact, you're not obliged to jump over the goalkeeper.
Exactly. I mean, we've seen it many times down the...
Well, that's a fact. Just because you can avoid the goalkeeper doesn't mean that you have to. I think it's a smart move by Gordon, and it's a poor move on Ederson. Inertia doesn't help, obviously, but we've seen those penalties called a trillion times in football. And so I don't understand really what the debate is about.
Down the years that has happened, and the referee is just. I mean, VAR is not going to overturn that.
Well, no,
it's
exactly.
not a clear and obvious.
You're not going to overturn that. No, that's correct. Do you think? I mean, is it too early to say that City are having a minor wobble because they've drawn 2 games in the league?
The biggest significance that's happened to them recently is losing Rodri.
Well, and they're going to get to talk about Man City, of course. So that's not even a thing we're going to get into. But again, you can't have a debate really without some type of foundation. If this was called the other way around, people would have said a great Haaland or great whoever, and the poor Pope. And actually, if he didn't choose to, Gordon to go down, he probably could have scored anyway. But regardless, it was a foul. So if it's a foul, I don't understand the really where the debate comes from. And so I can't play the video because it's not, in my jurisdiction. Obviously, I'm in America. But this is up to sport, obviously, quoting Alan Shearer right down here. And he says, I'm delighted it was given, but I don't think it was a penalty on his analysis down there on the title. Can't play it because it's only for UK folks. But also, Sky Sports reporting this right here. I don't know if you can't probably see it. Let me see if I can zoom out real quick so you can just see the bottom. You can't see it, but I'm going to read it to you. Well, let me see if I can just do it this way. Yeah, there it is. So the bottom says controversial Gordon penalty frustrates Man City. Controversial. I don't understand what part of that is controversial. It really isn't. It really isn't. It's a penalty, man. I don't get it. It has to be something against Newcastle United because I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. Or maybe if it's not against Newcastle United, it's got to be something biased towards this Big Six. And trust me, I do appreciate Man City for a lot of how they talk about Newcastle United, even Pep Guardiola. Everybody really are really, you know, they're a good team in and outside of the pitch. Of course, you get banter, you get fans. I mean, we banter them as well, so banter is always welcome. But and even when we put on our channel the Gordon comments after the match, a lot of their fans came on and they said he dove, etc. Banter is banter, but for the most part they are very educated. They're an educated fan base, to be fair, and but regardless, they are still part of that Big Six. At this point in time. But one penalty that was not called was this one. And I'm not showing you the Joe Linton one because Joe Linton, I think the referee didn't want to give a back-to-back penalty to the same club, and he didn't do it. But this is another penalty. I believe this is Fabian Scher, and thank you to Manspy for reporting this one. But this was in their box again, and look at that. Look at that takedown right there from here. Look at that. Follow the mouse. I think it's Vardio, that one, if I'm not mistaken. And he just literally takes down. Look at that. That's a takedown right there. And that is another penalty. That is another penalty for Newcastle United that was not given. So that would be 3. That's a penalty. You can't take it down an attacker like that. Literally grab the shirt, pull them down, push them down, shove them down. And that is a penalty any day of the week. But VAR was not interested. VAR didn't care to show it. And I think, and that's when you get into these situations right here, I mean, you can clearly see a bias. You can clearly see a bias. And unfortunately, we don't get those perks yet because we're not on that level yet. And do we even want those perks, to be honest? It almost looks like some, corruption behind that. But and yeah, corruption is probably a word used too lightly these days, to be honest. But at the end of the day, is incompetence. VAR is supposed to be there to fix whatever the referee doesn't catch, and they turn a blind eye on most things nowadays, and that can't be. Might as well just take VAR away, stop spending the money on it, because if you're not going to try to fix every single, you can't tell me that play right there. You cannot tell me that play is a play that happens. That happens. Those sayings that say, "Well, that's a play that happens all the time in the boxes and nobody calls it." No, that is a takedown right there. That is a WWE takedown, and that cannot happen whatsoever, in my opinion. And VAR didn't even bother to look at it. They didn't even bother to look at the second one that everybody was looking at, the Joe Linton. And to me, that is a travesty. That is a travesty. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. My name is Chris, the American Mag. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, help us support the channel. And I think the media does have something against Newcastle United. What do you think?